Yeah, I say I don't envy the two of you and any of your team in marketing. I mean, we're what 2 weeks away, since the Articles of Unity account was banned on Twitter,
Hmm.
something like that, right? And it's
Yep.
still banned. So you don't have that aspect or that avenue to market our ideas in the movement. And then, it's something odd. I was looking at Twitter this morning, and I always check what is trending. Right? I'm sure most of us do, or a lot of us do. And today's the return of the NFL. So football was trending on almost every topic. I think politics had a couple toward the bottom. So are we in danger of, the public at large getting just a little taste of normal? Are they going to forget that of the peril we're in, and how are you guys going to keep the marketing strategy up through all of those problems?
Well, I think too that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there isn't a distraction that exists right now where politics isn't overflowing into it. And I mean, I can cite the NBA. I can cite a number of different cases where you go to, unplug from reality for a little while, but it doesn't matter. It's still there. It's still being
Yeah,
representative. And even if you're just going to, for a walk, you're still reminded that everybody's wearing a mask or some people aren't wearing a mask. These problems that we face, you can't escape them, but we can fix them. And I feel that for the people who are trying to bury their head in their sand, or they're unplugging, there's not much, well, there's not really a place you can go anymore without it. So instead of, trying to pick a side, red or blue, what we're proposing, and why I think that unity will work, is that as long as we believe that there's a middle ground, people will stand on it. And the people who are unplugged right now are trying to run away from this problem. We want to make sure that there is a place for them to come, that they can feel like an American, that they don't have to hate their neighbors just because they have a sign on their lawn, and then they can feel proud about what they do in November.
Yeah, Joe, I think that's a great point, especially about how politics is really seeping into everything, or at least the problems that our society faces. And I think that, there traditionally a good portion of our society chooses not to exercise their right to vote. And I would say to that portion, now it's more important than ever, and it's really the best time to kind of stand up and have your voice be heard, as things are crumbling around us in many levels. So it's we are even seeing within our own volunteer ranks that 25% of our volunteers were not planning on voting in this election if unity isn't an option. So I don't know if they've changed having been involved in the organization or not, but coming in, I mean, that's a good percentage. That is a big enough percentage that if it were extrapolated to all voters, that's enough to win with that alone. So, anytime you think like, oh, my vote doesn't really matter, remember that. I do want to go back to your comments on Twitter really quickly. Because you're right, it has been a loss to not have the official Twitter account, as so much of especially political conversation happens on Twitter these days.
right.
And it's something that I know Brad has been very vocal about. Some of you might have heard him most recently. I think this might have just been released this morning on Rising. But, Twitter has had ample time to reverse this decision to suspend us and conduct their own internal investigation. We conducted our own internal investigation as well. But in the meantime, what we have done, and this is a large testament to really our volunteer force and what our movement stands for, but we've created an account called AO Unity Phoenix, and this account will point to a volunteer who has stepped up to be our flag bearer. And in this case, the flag bearer means someone who will communicate all official Unity news to any follower. So if our supporters just follow the Phoenix, our AO Unity Phoenix, and then they'll see who the flag bearer is, and they can go to that account, and any official tweet from the flag bearer will start with AOU and then whatever the tweet is. So this is, a a really, I think, powerful way for our volunteers to kind of say, you know, like, we will not be silenced. Like, we are all unity, and it's been great to see them step forward.
And let's give it up for those flag bearers. I mean, that's a hefty weight to throw on your shoulders, especially because, you know, there's some, you know, mighty trolls out there. But I do think that having a place to go to, at least, even if it's on a platform that doesn't like us right now, we can make space anywhere, and we can find clever ways to do it. And I'm really happy that, you know, because COVID pushed everybody online and social media, and it was really scary. And, you know, because then everybody, that was their interaction. But unity came out of that, and friendship, and, you know, new ways to communicate, and new ideas about how to sidestep censorship are coming out of that. And I think that's really inspiring, and I hope to see more of it in the future.